I can't work a 9 to 5 job. Anytime I've ever tried, I started to legitimately lose my mind. Like, I've worked so many different types of jobs. I've worked at U-Haul before. I've worked at a call center. I've worked from home. I've done sales. I've done customer service. I've done real estate. I've done food service jobs, retail. I've done it all. Like, I've worked so many different types of jobs. Sometimes this job I might last 9 months, this one 2 weeks, 3 months here, one day here. I've never lasted at a job longer than 1 year. I just
Bro, at that point, it's a you problem. At that point, it's a you. If you can't, let me chill, let me relax. If you can't stay at a job for more than a year, that says something about you, which I understand. That's what he's saying. He can't work a job. He's not saying it's the job's fault, but that just means that you have no commitment, dude. That means you have no drive to, yes, we get it. Working sucks. Every person watching this video would agree working sucks. Even if you love what you do, getting up every day and going to work for somebody else, that shit sucks. We get it. We understand. But what's the alternative? What's the alternative? We all just say we quit. We're not working anymore. And then the whole infrastructure falls. Like,
just can't do it. I legitimately can't do it. And anytime I've ever tried to express this feeling to people that jobs aren't for me, people look at me crazy, like I'm lazy and like I need to suck it up and that's just life. Newsflash, that's not just fucking life. If it was just life, there wouldn't be people who are doing whatever they want to do all the time. There wouldn't be the rich people. There wouldn't be people who are free.
bro, you think those people just magically got there? Bro, there's two types of rich people. There's the rich people that grinded and made it, and then there's the rich people that are children of those people who grinded and made it. You don't see the grind. You just see them, and like on Instagram or on TikTok or whatever, on vacation, you see the pictures from Cancun, you see the pictures from Dubai and all that, but you didn't see those people. Might have, from the age of 16 to the age of like 46, they were just grinding. So for 30 years, they put in work. They put in sweat equity, and that's how they were able to amass their fortune. You just sitting here upset because you want to just rush to the finish line. No, dude. Welcome to the game of life. You have to work for it. When you start comparing yourself to other people, when you start comparing yourself to these rich people that you see, whether you see them in real life or you see them online, then you're going to start looking at your job and be like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And then you're going to quit. You're going to end up like Buddy right here.
I feel like so many people are stuck. They're in like this box. I don't want to use the word matrix because I'm not trying to be cringe like Andrew Tate. Speaking of him, I just want to go on a little rant real quick. I'll see people online like him who say life isn't about being happy. Life isn't about like enjoying what you want to do and it's just work, work, work. It's just grind and the fuck? This isn't like caveman days where you're just doing shit just to do it. Like, we live in a time where you have the ability to love what you do and be able to actually make it work. Why would I want to do something I don't like? Why would I want to hate my life? Somebody could give me $500,000 and say, here, work this 9 to 5 job for the next 60 years. Fuck you. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Well, I would say F you too, bro. 500,000 for 60 years is not worth. I get his point though. You can do what you want and be happy and make no money, or at the beginning, you can do what other people tell you to do, which is work in a regular 9 to 5 job until you have enough money to either start your own business or do something like that. But you have to do it you have to put the work in first, man. You can't, nobody has the ability to just do what they want from the jump unless you're a child of somebody who's rich, like I mentioned earlier. Those are the only people that really have that luxury. Everybody else, us regular folk, you've got to put in the work. You're going to be unhappy for a little bit. Life isn't about being happy. Andrew Tate is not 100% wrong on that, and I'm not an Andrew Tate fan like that. You know, I watch some of his clips and agree with some things that he says, and I disagree with a lot of things that he says. But yeah, life is not about being happy. You should enjoy what you do, but you got to get to that point.
Because it's not about the money for me. It's never been about the money. I want freedom. I want happiness. That's what this shit is all about. Why would I want to make my life miserable and spend 70% of my life at a job? I even hated school. Like as a kid, I remember starting school, whether it was at 7 a.m. or at 8 a.m., 6 a.m., leaving at 3, 4, 5, whatever. And I'm looking around and I'm like, does anybody else not see how crazy this is? Like, what are we actually doing right now? I'm learning about this bullshit that I know won't matter. And when I ask the teacher, when am I going to use this in real life? They can't give me an answer. I knew it was bullshit from the beginning, but it was like I was a kid and all I have to do is get the grades or else I'm going to get in trouble at home.
I don't disagree with him about the school thing. I thought the same thing when I was in school, but I thought it for a different reason. I was thinking that because not because I'm like a genius or anything, I'm super smart. It's just I wasn't learning anything in school. Like that type of stuff came naturally to me. I was bored, you know? But when it comes to work, that's different, bro. If everybody had the mindset to quit their jobs, the whole infrastructure that we have set up here in America would crumble like overnight. If everybody at energy plants decided they were going to quit their job, if all truck drivers decided that I can't work a job, I just can't, it's just too hard, and they all quit, you wouldn't be able to go to the grocery store and go pick up, some fresh produce and a 6-pack on the way home. Like you wouldn't be able to do that. You wouldn't even be able to go to the gas station and fill your car up. You wouldn't even be able to turn on your sink and have water coming out of the faucet because all the people at the water treatment plants can't work a 9 to 5. They can't work a job. You wouldn't be able to get on the phone and call your mom because all the people up at Verizon or AT&T and all the people working on the cell towers, I can't work a job. Bro, this is a sacrifice that every human being has to make in order to keep the whole infrastructure going. You have to play your part, man. You have to play your part. And if you don't, somebody else is going to. Somebody else is going to take your spot and you can stay wherever you're at and you can complain about it with no money in your pockets. That's the reality. It does suck, but what's the alternative?
So now as an adult who's able to finally make decisions, I'm looking at the cycle basically repeat itself. Where instead of it being school, it's work. And people are like, just do it. Anytime I try to tell people I can't work a job, they don't understand where I'm coming from. I'm not doing it. Fuck a job. I can't do it. I've tried anything and everything to make it work. I've tried drugs like antidepressants and ADHD meds. It doesn't matter. Trying to make myself normal, right? Trying to
explain this to a woman. I know for a fact that this dude's mindset will completely change if he had a woman that depended on him or he had a family like children who depended on him. We've all been there before, man. I was there before where I'm like, why do I have to work a job, dude? Like, why do I have to go to school? Why do I have to do this? Why am I in this rat race? We've all had that before, bro. But it comes down to this. Everything was supposed to be free. God intended everything on planet Earth to be a gift for us. There's food that literally comes from trees. You're able to just grab it and eat it. We have clean running water, all of that. Everything's supposed to be free. I could literally build a shelter just with the trees that God created. But there's a few greedy people, more than a few now, but it just comes down to greedy people wanting to capitalize on everything. And unfortunately, they won. Unfortunately, if I go to the store, I got to pay somebody to bottle my water. But it's also a convenience fee. I don't have to go down to the creek and go down to the river and get my water. So it's a trade-off, man. If you want all the amenities that you have and all the conveniences that you have, it's going to cost you. If you want electricity to be harnessed and directly sent to your house, it's going to cost you. You got to work for that, man. It is what it is. It's the game.
I don't care. I live alone. I have bills, right? I have to pay my rent. I have to pay my car insurance. I have to pay my credit card bills. I have so many bills. But I'd rather be uncertain about where my money's going to come from than have to work a job that I hate. It doesn't matter. I don't care about the money. I want autonomy over who I am. A great example is my last job. I just quit my last job. I started my new job like a month ago. And it was working fine. I was, telling my parents about it, having conversations with my dad. everybody was saying like, yeah, this is finally good. Like you're finally like going somewhere and you're doing something, and I was like, it's whatever. And then I'm working there and like I'm starting to like just get the feelings that I always get when I have a job, where it's just like, ugh, I don't want to go to work. And it's like when I get off of work, I have no energy left, and I'm dreading like bedtime because I know as soon as I wake up, I have to get right back in front of my computer and begin working on dumb shit again. It was a sales job, so I'm sitting here calling people on the phone, and my manager is nitpicking and
Yeah, okay, that job sucks. But until you find that job that makes you super happy, you're gonna have to work those that aren't so pleasant. You know, you shouldn't work at a job that makes you miserable and where it's like, it's intolerable and the boss is annoying as hell. Like, yeah, those jobs are stressful, and I don't think anybody should be sticking around for those. And to me, that just seems like a whole nother level of stress. He says he has bills, he lives alone, he pays rent, he has credit card bills and stuff, and he would rather be happy and not care much about the money than to work at a job he doesn't like. That seems like more stress to me, is not knowing where you're gonna lay your head at, if you get behind on bills, not knowing if your credit score is gonna get fucked completely because you're not paying your credit card bills. That seems like more stress to me than just going to a job that's not the best. I get it. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with him? Can you work a 9 to 5? Is that something that bothers you as much as it bothers him? Y'all tell me what you think down in the comment section, man. I understand his perspective, but it seems a little bit dramatic. Before y'all leave, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.